Okay, so I want to do a quick video today to kind of just catch up a little bit, talk about some things going on, and talk about some new books that I received recently. Really, I just wanted to talk quick about 3 books that I am either currently enjoying or will enjoy very shortly. But also, I have a giveaway I want to do for the Eerie Encounters deck, which I'll talk about more a little bit later in the video. First and foremost, I've gotten a ton of books recently, but these 3 are ones that they've currently moved up to the top of the to-read list, and I've started on them. I plan on doing a much more in-depth look at these books once I have finished them. But I want to touch on these really quickly because I think 2 of them are really important to me. They're by people that are highly influential to what I do as a practice. And just the way my belief system tends to be. And then one of them is something kind of new to me. And then I'll talk about the new to me thing first. So let's put these off to the side. So alchemy is something that I've really never really looked too far into. I have a passing, obviously, understanding of what alchemy is, but this book was popping up on a few people's videos and lists fairly recently. I had placed an order for it a while back when I first saw it because the price was insanely good, and it seemed like a pretty good introduction, and I like the approach to making art as alchemy. I think right now you can get this book for like $14 or $15 on Amazon. It's a hardcover. It's obviously nothing amazingly special, in the binding and everything, but it's a nice, sturdy little book. The content is really what's important here, and honestly, it's a really nice, easy read. I'm not done with it yet. I had started it and then kind of got sidetracked with a few things with work and everything. I have not had much time to focus on reading. But take a quick look at table of contents. It's not a big book. It's not a long book. What is it? 173 pages, basically. And it does read really well. It does read really fast. It's a nice approach. I really wasn't super familiar with Brian Cotenoir, but I did realize after the fact that I've eyed a few other things that he does. I know I had come across on Anathema Publishing's website. He has a set of zines all on alchemy that I've eyed before because I thought it was just an interesting approach. And alchemy is something that I've always I want to learn about. I want to have a better understanding of it, and I thought the little zines would be a great way, to get all that information in very, in brief chunks. So I will definitely do a video on this when I read more. When I finish it and get a chance to get on it. But so far what I've read, I'd really recommend just picking this up. Like, the price is just insanely right on this. So link will be below. So I did my first purchase through Treadwell's the other day, a couple weeks ago actually. I had come across I had no idea that Phil Hine had a new book coming out. It's Querying the Cultures. It's a collection of essays. I have not started on this at all, but I saw that he was doing a talk at Treadwell's and that there was going to be a signed copies available. And I knew, hey, Phil Hine is extremely important to me. A lot of my time practicing the occult has been, I'd say, primarily in the fashion of a chaos magician. I've always really liked the way that Phil Hine approached chaos magic. I think his books are probably the most important books on it in my collection, specifically on chaos magic, just because I feel like the way he approaches the subject, I think the way he talks about the subject is just it's clear, it's direct. I just really liked his approach to books, and I read, a lot of his books. I think there's still a couple I haven't read, but I was very much interested in this. This is a collection of essays. Essays from Unfolding, Volume 1. Quick look at the contents page. Again, I have not even started this, but it has moved up it was at the top of my to read list, but it got overtaken by the next book I will talk about in a second. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this is it's going to be an interesting read. Phil Hine is just a very important person to me. I used to run a website many years ago that was based around chaos magic, and I definitely had talked about Phil Hine in some of the writings or whatever that were up on there. Probably talked about his influence. This goes back, late '90s, early 2000s, and he had emailed me out of the blue back then, and I had a brief exchange with him, and it was like so important to me. It was just nice to have that recognition, that somebody who I looked up to had also seen some of the stuff that I was working on. It was nice. So I will definitely be doing a video on this and probably some of his other books. I'll probably talk about, stuff like Condensed Chaos, which I see is now, there's a hardback version of that, which I'm going to have to buy. My paperback is probably 30 years old at this point, and it looks it. I have a couple of, his other books as well. That are just, they're not in the best condition anymore just because they've been with me for several decades. And these were books that I really, really read through a number of times. But yeah, so more to come. Now, the book that overtook Phil Hine's book on the top of the read list is this new book from Robert Anton Wilson, who, if there's anybody else that is a writer, at least, that's as important to me, it's probably Robert Anton Wilson. The impact that his writings alone have had on my thought process is just immense. Whether it's his fiction and Illuminatus trilogies or its Cosmic Trigger series, just so much, just everything. Prometheus Rising, so many important books to me, and just so many important ideas. He was just so instrumental in my thinking, and still is to this day. So when I heard about this book being put out by Hilarious Press, I was very excited because it's something new, a new, a new book from Robert Anton Wilson that's being published posthumously. Basically what this is there's an essay, or yeah, I guess it's an essay that he had done called "Do What Thou Wilt," that he had sent off to a publisher in 1975 or 74. I can't remember the year now. I probably never got published, it seems, as far as anybody knows. It eventually, there's the whole story about it in one of the introductions in the book, but it's basically it's an essay all about Crowley, Aleister Crowley. So it's who was very important to Robert Anton Wilson, and to his just his thinking as well, and had a lot of impact on me also. So this is like a no-brainer for me. So it's an interesting book. I've only just started. I'm only 45 pages in, but I definitely, I would recommend this without even looking at it. But yeah, just look at the names that you have in this. You have an introduction by Lon Milo Duquette, forward by Richard Kaczynski, which you haven't read. Pardurabu, I definitely recommend reading that biography of Crowley. Oz Fritz, Gregory Arnott, or Michael Johnson all have writings in this. So basically what this is there's a section that is, the line of light, which is, raw on Aleister Crowley. And it's different articles, different writings, different essays, different things, forwards, and introductions that he's written for like Eye in the Triangle and Portable Darkness, that are republished here. Do What Thou Wilt is, I think, the only thing that really hasn't been previously published, if I remember correctly, as far as Raw's work goes. But I'm not 100% sure on that. They talk about it in a couple of the introductions and editor's notes and stuff. It's a fascinating story. So like I said, I'm very early in on it, so I'm just about to start the actual raw section of this. So, a lot to go, but this is, just started it last night, so very excited to get through this. It's a nice book, just came out. If you haven't picked up any of the Hilarious Press books, you really should. I have to get more copies. I have a lot of the older copies from the early 90s, through when Robert Anton Wilson was publishing a lot. All his books were getting published. I have a lot of those copies, but they're in, like I said, with the Phil Hine books, they're just not in great condition anymore because these things I constantly was reading and referencing, and I've gone through at least 2 or 3 copies of Illuminatus. I really beg for somebody to release a really good hardback collector's edition of Illuminatus. I would buy that in a heartbeat. So much opportunity there, I think. But yeah, no. So definitely check out Hilarious Press. They're releasing all of Bob's work, in really nice editions. Paperbacks, but really good. I think this book is like $23 maybe. It really wasn't much. Again, I'll have the link below. I'll put a couple links to some of the other books of Robert Anton Wilson's that I really like as well. But yeah, definitely more to come. I will probably do a full video just on this book, if not a couple things just on Robert Anton Wilson in general, just because of how influential he was to me. So yeah, more to come. So now the big news for the video that I think most of you are probably really waiting for is I through a series of mess ups on my part, probably I ended up with an extra copy of Eerie Encounters, and I'm going to give a copy away, but also I have an extra of all the Kickstarter items for it. So there's a squonk pin. There's a sticker, Attract Amazing Things, from bedlamartsandgoods.com. This is the Appalachian Apparitions deck, which was like a $15 add-on. Matches in perfectly with Eerie Encounters. I have a previous video where I kind of walked through these, so I definitely recommend checking that out. I'll link to it. It'll come up after this video as well, or I'll try to add it to wherever it's supposed to go on the screen. Everything's sealed, and basically I will send this anywhere. So it's open to anybody where I can legally ship it to. Hopefully, I'm assuming that's going to be everywhere, but who knows anymore. Just to show what you'll get, this is my copy. So I still have the Appalachian Apparitions, as a separate set. I mean, these cards are great. It's all cryptids. I really enjoy the artwork on these. The card qualities, it's a basic card quality, but it's actually really nice. The backs are really nice. So you get your, this is the regular deck. You get a nice little box that they come in, 2-part box. The guidebook is what it is, but it's not much info. But everything that you need is on the card, so there's plenty there. But honestly, a lot of this deck is really about enjoying the artwork, and you get to learn about new cryptids that you probably don't know about, because there was a lot in here that were new to me. So, but yeah, basically, so I'm going to run this for about a week. I guess I'll end it on the 12th. And basically, leave a comment below. Please subscribe. Leave a comment below. Put in the comment hashtag Eerie Encounters, all one word. I'll put it up on the screen. Put that in the comment so that I can run one of those website things that will check against comments, and it'll just randomly pull up one of the comments, and that person will win. I'll ship everything out to you, and you can enjoy your new deck. Obviously, it's not like sponsored. It's not part of a YouTube or anything. This is just me. I have an extra copy, so I am passing it along to whoever can also get it. But yeah, enjoy it. I will do a follow-up video next week on the. I'll leave it open until midnight on the 12th, so I'll post a video on the 13th of the winter. So look forward to that. Please leave a comment. Like and subscribe. If you can. Obviously, please, let me know if you've read any of the books that I talked about, or if you have any thoughts on any of them. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on Phil Hine or Robert Anton Wilson or Brian Cottonmore. You know, I know he's got a couple books out, and based on this one, I'll probably be picking up those as well because so far what I've read of it, I've really enjoyed. So, all right, I'll talk to you soon. I have a couple of more videos coming up soon, so I'm gonna try to get back into the habit of filming more often. I've been super busy at work lately, so more to come. Thanks.